Remember the dream?
Hello everyone, Hugo from Ichiban Studio, and today I'm going to have a little review unboxing of Ferrus Manus. So the first thing that we're going to look at is the boring part, is the box. Horus Heresy box. They don't have, that much to it. It's just a black box. It still look pretty, but it's not worth the 55 pounds just for the box. But still, have a Horus Heresy. The only thing that's different is that actually the Ferrus Manus box is a little bit bigger than all the other Horus Heresy box that come previously for all the kits. But that's pretty much it. I don't know if my box is special, but it is pretty big. So let's go check what the model is all about, and then, what I think about it. Let's start with the base. So basically the base for all the Horus Heresy characters, they come with like a display base and then an insert that goes with the gaming base in it. All the Horus Heresy character come with it. The Primarchs come normally with a 60mm base, then the insert that goes on top of it, and then a 40mm base to play. Pharaon and Erebus, and then Loken and Abaddon, they come on a flying base with the display that goes on top of it, and then their 40mm individual, not 40mm, but individual sluttable base. The only thing that I noticed different is from Ferrus Manus, whatever his name is. And then also with Fulgrim, is that they come with a base that is like this with the insert that sluts in, but they also come with a piece that closes the whole base, okay? And this is really cool. Angron didn't have that, and then all the other characters that I painted didn't have that, is that their base would be actually like this, open here, so then you could slot it in easily, with the insert that goes on top, but you would always see things that are around it, compared to Fulgrim. And then with Ferrus Manus, it encased the whole gaming base, which is really cool. The only thing that's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but it's not that much of a big problem, is here I have Fulgrim base that I'm working on currently, and here you have that sluttable insert, same thing for him, that encased the base, the gameable base. You have to magnetize it. I magnetize Fulgrim's base so that you can have it like this when it's displayed, and it's easily removable for putting him in and out of the base. So this is the thing that you have for the base, and then Ferrus Manus base comes and it's made to be slottable with the Fulgrim base, so both are actually fighting together on the base, which is pretty cool, I think, but you still need the two Primarchs to be able to do that. The other cool thing is that if you buy both, and then if you want them both displayed, or if you're a commission painter and you want to paint both and sell both, you could build a little diorama base around it, and then put the two, like take these out. I put them on, but I have some special stuff to put them on in from Secret Weapon. It's like an insert that you can insert the 60mm base in, then basically they will be together. So that's pretty much it. I mean, detail wise, the bases are really cool. This is Ferrus Manus base, like all the Horus Heresy MK2 and 3 guys. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not really good with all the different types of armor, but really nice base. So for the base, they're cool. I really like the fact that they step up their game and they made those base with the little insert so it looks encased. This is really cool stuff. Let's go and see the Primarch itself. Here we have the main body of Ferrus Manus. The first thing that stunned me is he's a very beefy, badass dude. I mean, the detail is really nice on him. And then the only thing I don't like is this. Okay, the two arms, they come together because he's holding his hammer, which makes it a little bit hard. I didn't snap it because, again, the way they cast it, as you can see here, it's really close from the detail that's in the shoulder pad. And then the resin, if you try to snap it with clippers, it might break off in some areas that you actually don't want them to break. So I don't really like the way they casted this piece. It might make it really hard to keep that little fragile piece of detail that you have here on the shoulder pad. But you know, there's no way, no going around it. So this is basically the body, so it comes in one piece for the main body itself, and then after that the shoulders, and then you add on the backpack that we're gonna go see. One little thing is that this is the best Primarch they've made so far. I mean, Angron was pretty frail, if you ask me. I mean, you know, he's tall compared to normal Space Marine, but his armor, his body parts, and everything, he looked like a guy that was wearing a knight armor, not like a power armor. And then it's the same thing for Fulgrim. Let's check Fulgrim and him together. So here you have Fulgrim. So that's the thing I was talking about. You know, like you see his legs. And, you know, the legs are not too big. You know, he's a tall dude, like I talked. This is a work in progress. It's not finished, right? But he's a tall dude, like I talked. But he's still, you know, pretty frail. He's supposed to be a Primarch. He's supposed to be imposing. When you look at Ferrus Manus on the side, look at the size of that. He really looks like a dude that's a massive dude that's wearing a massive power armor. So that turns me on, like that gets my painting mojo on, because that guy is a badass motherfucker compared to Fulgrim and then Angron that look like this. You know, they have frail, small legs. And to be honest, it's not how I would have imagined them. You know, Fulgrim, after reading the books and stuff like that, I wouldn't imagine him, maybe not as beefy and, you know, as Ferrus Manus, but I would have imagined Fulgrim being more of, you know, a Primarch looking thing. I know that this armor has more, you know, like elegance to it, but still, I would have Angron too, would have liked to have them a little bit more beefy, but this one, you know, like hits the mark like right on the spot. I mean, that guy is a beefy motherfucker. So let's look at the rest of the part that comes with this kit. So here are the last part that are left in this kit. So we covered the base, and then we had the main body with his arms. And after that, most of these parts here, you have the hammer that he's holding, one end of the hammer, the other end of the hammer here, his head. The head is beautiful. I mean, the detail in the head, let's see, is really nice. I mean, he looks really cool, and then the detailing in there is really well done compared to, for example, Fulgrim or Angron, which is a little bit, I don't know, it's not up to par of what I would expect the kit to be that expensive. Then after that, we have the backpack and all the attachment that goes on this backpack. These parts are extremely fragile and small. All the wire, like these ones, they are extremely small, really well detailed. I mean, that's not the problem. I mean, the Horus Heresy series, they always have some really, really nicely detailed, you know, piece, but it's they're very, very small and very fragile. So when the backpack is done, it's gonna be, you know, like, you have to be careful when you paint it. But other than that, everything else on this model is pretty fucking beefy. And again, one thing that I'm disappointed will be, you see how many parts you have? There's a bunch of parts, right? We're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You know, 15, 17, 18, 19 parts, that these are not all for the backpack, but in general, just here, these per 19, you know, almost like, you know, 30 parts, and then this is what you get. You know, you don't even get instruction. Fulgrim in the back had a little bit of instruction, but really not detail. It would be nice to, you know, pay £55 and plus shipping and have at least some instruction that you don't have to actually go on the Forge Word website and then look at all, you know, the picture and then try to figure out how all these, you know, fit in and where they fit in. I mean, for God fucking sakes, they put numbers. They put numbers on those, but there's no fucking instruction that comes with it. I mean, at least the one I have has no instruction, so how the fuck am I supposed to know, okay, number 3, where it goes? Why the fuck do you put a number if you don't put the time to put a fucking instruction? We all know even a fucking Titan from Forge World doesn't have, like, really intricate instruction, but I would have expected to have at least a little bit of something somewhere here so I don't have to figure out everything. So for somebody that's not an experienced modeler, it could be a little bit more challenging and tricky to actually figure out where everything goes and how they snap together, and then basically you're losing time when you're assembling. If you're assembling it for yourself, it's not that big of a problem, but if you're, you know, like me, the fastest I do things, you know, the less money I lose, basically. So this is a constraint for there. So let's look at the conclusion. So in conclusion, I would say Ferrus Manus Manus, or whatever, by far is the best Primarch they came out. It is the one that I could say that, yes, by reading the books, by reading the Horus Heresy, I could say they nailed it. He looks like what I would have imagined him looking like, compared to, like I said previously, you know, like the other one were a little bit frail. You know, when you think about it, the Power Armor, you know, Space Marines are all big, and then after that you have, you know, the Terminators that are even bigger and more beefier. You would expect a Primarch to be super beefy and imposing and stuff, and then to see Angron and then Angron and Fulgrim with like their tiny legs that they just look like they're wearing a, you know, 19th, 18th century, 17th century, 16th century, you know, knight's armor. Just on top, doesn't even look like it's a space suit, because, you know, let's be honest, come on. I know they are Primarchs and shit, but, you know, they're still, you know, fighting in space and stuff. So, you know, these ones I got a little bit disappointed with the previous release, but with this one, I think he's right on the money. He's pretty fucking badass. So it's going to be a blast to paint. I cannot wait to, you know, shut that camera off and get that fucking unboxing editing out of the way so I can start working on it. Was working on Fulgrim, which is not finished yet, but I think that one's going to wait until the end because I want to concentrate on Ferrus Manus. Concerning the price, I mean, like every other Horus Heresy thing, I'm not too sold on the 55 pounds. I mean, for Abaddon and Loken, and then after that, Corfarin, I think, if I pronounce his name badly, you know, I'm sorry. Corfarin and Erebus, these two are 55 pounds, if I'm not mistaken, too. But they come with two models in one kit with their little diorama stuff. So that's pretty, you know, still 25 quid each, you know, but you still have two models for 55 pounds. Primarchs, you get 55 pounds for one model. I mean, it's expensive. I mean, I know there's a lot of detail, but you're paying for the fact that it's a Primarch. You're not really paying more, you know, because there's more HQ choice from Forge World that have as much detail. Remember, Ferrus Manus comes with a lot of stuff, but like, for example, Angron, that didn't have that many special stuff on him or special detail. So you're still paying 55 pounds, which is like almost $100. Not $100, but close to that. For one model. So it's expensive, but if you love Horus Heresy, you know, the history, the books and everything, and then you have an army that would match it, and even though if you don't have an army, it's a fucking cool model to have. All the Primarchs are pretty cool. So it's a biased opinion. If you like it, you can, but model wise, 55 pounds is a rape. You're getting basically raped in the ass. So to pay 55 quid for one fucking model, that's a tiny, you know, thing. You could spend $100 and get that thing, you know, or you know, that's almost like 50 pounds, or like 60 or 70 pounds. You get one of these, which are big, you know, War Machine Colossals would come, like, it's also resin. So and if you still stay in the Games Workshop line of stuff, you can get a whole lot of shit for 55 pounds that probably is, you know, much more value for your money than the Primarchs, but still, it's a badass model. So this was Hugo from Ichiban Studio. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing / review video. I will see you on the next video. Probably is going to be, I said last time it would be part 3 of the how to make better YouTube videos, but this bad boy came in, you know, so I had to film it. So I'll see you on the next video. Cheers for watching.